You can listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down or laying down or even stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. So if you would like to listen to this in a still position, and just feel free to take all the time you need to arrive there and allow yourself to fidget, adjust, move in whatever ways feel good in your body right now. Doing your best to not think about the movements, but just letting your body move you in the ways that feel best for you physically. And if what feels best for you physically right now is stillness, then honoring that need for stillness whenever that feels like what you need. So there is no rush whatsoever. You can continue to move throughout this practice whenever you feel the need to. When you are feeling ready, if you haven't already, you can let yourself come to a nice and still position with the spine relatively straight. And if you're in a space where you feel safe to do so, you can allow the eyes to gently close at any time if they aren't already. And you can mark your arrival into your practice today, into your body today, with a full, intentional cleansing breath. A long and slow inhale in through the nose and just filling up to every corner and edge of you as you just pause for a moment when you're full and really experience what it feels like to be full of air right now. And without straining as you need to, slowly letting all of that go. Exhaling all the air out of you bit by bit. And just gently pulling the navel toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale to push that last bit of stagnant air out of you as you again pause for a moment to experience that sense of emptiness. And allow your next breath to come to you as it's needed. So you can breathe just like that for a few more rounds for as long as it feels good and helpful. Just exaggerating the 4 parts of your breath. The inhale, followed by the pause at the top of your inhale. And the exhale, followed by the pause at the bottom of your exhale. As you just consciously, intentionally slow down the process of your breath. And at any time, if you haven't already, you can release this guidance over your breath altogether. And just allow yourself to step almost back and up in the mind as you come into that role of the observer or the witness. And seeing if you can simply observe the fact that your body is breathing, rather than having any direct influence over the rhythm or depth of your breath. But reminding yourself as we begin today that the breath is that one bodily function that can be either voluntary or automatic. So just playing with that control or guidance, followed by the release of control or guidance as we begin. Knowing that you are capable of both. And some days, for whatever reason, it can feel really difficult to observe the breath without impacting it at all. So if that's where you are right now, know that it is completely okay. And just imagine yourself as if you were laying down on the beach and watching the waves as they come and go, and taking on that same energy that you would have there as you watch your breath come and go. Not trying to change anything about the waves, about their rhythm or their size, but just having a seat and watching. Trusting that without any of your doing, without any of your direction, the waves will come and go all on their own. And it is safe for you to just watch the process. And using this time for the remainder of this practice to see if you can take on this perspective with your own body and with the magic that is your own body and who you are, the force of nature that you are. Remembering how much your body does for you without any of your doing. All of the bodily functions that occur throughout your days and nights that keep you alive, that keep everything working as it should. Remembering your heartbeat, all the blood running through your veins, all of your organs that digest your food and absorb energy, all of your senses that take in what you see, feel and hear, smell and taste in the world around you, as well as within you. And seeing if even just for a moment you can rest in this space. In the space of not trying to change anything about what you are experiencing, but just simply experiencing it. And if there's any thoughts in the mind or ideas that keep coming, or maybe if the mind is wandering to the past and thinking about anything at all that happened before this moment, or if it's wandering to the future and trying to multitask and plan for your day ahead, just knowing that the moment you notice that the mind is wandering to either the past or the future, that automatically brings you back to the present. So doing your best to observe what the mind is doing rather than running away with the thoughts. And you can look at your thoughts or the chatter in your mind just as you would maybe cars driving by on a highway. And you're not jumping on a car and riding with it, but you're just standing back on the side and watching as they come and go, noticing the shape and color maybe of each car, but watching as it comes and then letting it go. No. And sometimes if the mind is very active, it can be more helpful to bring your attention to the physical and bringing your attention to the places that you can further release. Because oftentimes areas of tension or fidgeting are often linked to areas in our mind of repeating thoughts or maybe disturbing thoughts in some way. And so instead of telling our mind to not think about something, which will never help, we can instead bring our attention to our physical body and our own anatomy. And just see what else can relax. A lot of times we can think that we are relaxed, but if we observe closer, we can find areas that are still holding on. And so you can start with your attention on the muscles in your face. And first, just letting your awareness rest on the face. And even with the eyes closed, you can notice any expression that could be resting on the face. And therefore noticing any emotions that could be communicated by the expression on your face. And just remembering all of the little muscles that exist in your face that can create all the faces you make every single day. And just allowing your jaw to simply hang into place. Allowing your lips to rest on each other and your tongue to release from the roof of the mouth. And feeling how this simple release in your jaw and your mouth can further soften the muscles in your chin, as well as in your nostrils, and naturally spreading outward and upward as the cheeks soften a little bit more. The upper jaw and the ears. The eyelids and the eyebrows. And the full width and depth of your forehead. And just simply allowing your gaze to rest wherever it is looking. Maybe at the backs of the eyelids. Maybe the eyes are rolling back and up slightly as you peer into the forehead. Or maybe rolling back even further and peering into the skull. And just gazing into whatever space you are looking into. And just softening your vision. Noticing anything at all that you see, even if all you are seeing is just darkness. Maybe some patterns. But just practicing looking at your own internal vision, your own mind screen. Often throughout our days, we are looking at so many screens outside of us that create all these different images and pictures. And just using this time to look at your own internal screen and just seeing what images and pictures, if any, are showing up. And remembering at the same time all of those tiny little muscles that scrunch up when you squint. And even feeling those soften as the corners of your eyes get a little bit wider. And your exhales get a little bit deeper. And even feeling your brain resting into the support of your skull. Letting your hairline soften back as you just simply allow all of this release and softness to naturally cascade down the rest of your body, just like a warm light. Feeling your whole scalp release and the neck and shoulders as you allow the arms to be heavy, the hands to be soft. the rib cage to rest on your lungs, and the muscles across your abdomen to rest on your organs. Allowing your pelvic floor to lengthen and widen as you release yourself into the seat that is supporting you. And feeling a sense of trust with the surface beneath you, and therefore with the earth beneath that surface. As you feel all the muscles down your legs release a little bit more, and in both feet and all toes. And just for a moment, allowing yourself to be heavy and allowing yourself to be held by the earth and by gravity. And just feeling a deep sense of trust and safety in your body, in the space that you are in. And just reminding yourself of this deep and ultimate safety that we all have in our bodies and in our souls. And how at the end of everything, this body will return to the earth and our souls will return to wherever it is that they've come from. And allowing yourself to rest and soak in that safety. And know that it is there on a deep, deep level within you, even if there are many layers on top. And noticing any of those layers or reminders maybe that are coming up. Maybe some things or circumstances in your current life situation that threaten that sense of safety or don't fully support your safety in life, in your body. And if there's anything in your life that is in that category, not pushing those away, not ignoring those things that might be scary to acknowledge, to just wash over it with your ultimate safety. And know that you are capable of holding both of these things. You are capable of knowing and trusting that on a deep and spiritual level, you are safe. You are exactly where you need to be. And at the same time, acknowledge and allow seeds to be planted within you of maybe future changes you need to make. Different ways that you can curate your life that will further support this safety rather than take away from it. And just remind yourself that there is always going to be a period of time between when we recognize we need to make a change and when we actually have the courage and resources to make those changes. And so just being so kind and patient with yourself wherever you are in the process of change in any area of your life. And just allowing, again, these seeds to be planted within you. Knowing that you are capable of creating or curating your environment to best support you. And even though this can take time and resources and courage, you are capable of these things. And again, just having so much patience with yourself wherever you are in this process. And allowing some attention to come to just the tips of your shoulders. And you can imagine that maybe there's a string on the tip of each of your shoulders, and there's someone gently pulling those strings away from each other. Your shoulders reaching away from each other. As you feel your collarbones broaden, your heart sitting in this more proud position. As you allow your rib cage to tuck under slightly, not sacrificing any length in your spine. Feeling a slight tuck of your chin toward your heart as you feel the full length of the back of your neck. And really just trace this space with your awareness between your heart, up through your throat, into your skull and brain stem, and into the brain itself. You can just trace that connection from your heart to your head, back and forth. Just reminding yourself of this innate connection that you have between your heart and your brain, and how your heart and brain are constantly communicating with one another. And just feeding that connection simply by being aware of it. Allowing all of this love and compassion, patience and empathy that exists in your heart to feed into the mind. Just allowing your mind to absorb all of this love that is in your heart. All of this intuition that is in your heart. And trust. Just trusting that on a deep, deep level, you already know all it is that you need to know. You know exactly why you're here, what you need to do here, what it is that you need to share. Whatever is your purpose of being here. We all have a purpose here. And we all will go through stages where we forget that purpose, or we stray away from our path. And there's nothing wrong with you if you are forgetting or maybe are off the path slightly, or even a lot off the path. Because being off of the path is also a part of the path. We only really know where it is we need to be sometimes when we stray away from those places. So just being so patient with yourself as you are on this journey of life. And just remember that we exist in so many different aspects of life at the same time. And you have many different lives happening simultaneously in your world. You have your family life, your social life, your work life, your spiritual life, your artistic, creative life, your health life, so many different aspects of you and the life that you are living. And it is possible, and well, not only is it possible, but it is likely that you will be maybe succeeding or thriving in one aspect of your life while simultaneously crumbling in another. And it is okay for you to lean on different aspects of your life that are fueling to you or comforting to you when you need them. If there's a lot of bad things happening in your health life, but your family life is fantastic, allowing yourself to lean on wherever it is that you have more support. And just knowing that you are capable of making it through difficult things. And even if it feels like you are simultaneously in a difficult spot in all of the aspects of your life, you are capable of making it through that as well. And reminding yourself that the only thing that we can all count on in this life is that things will change. Feelings will change. Circumstances will change. Everything in life changes constantly. And so this can be a great comfort to you if you are in a place right now that you would like to change. Because even when it feels like it will never change, it will. And you can also use this same fact as a comfort to you or permission for you to fully soak in all the good stuff that you're feeling. If you're in a great place in life right now, allowing yourself to make the most of it, because it will change. And a really helpful metaphor for this is the moon. This comes from Hellenistic astrology. The moon is the representation of our body, our physical body, our bones, muscles, skin, everything in between. And our body is just like the moon in that it does not have a light of its own. It is simply matter. The moon does reflect the light of the sun, just like our body reflects the light of our soul. It is illuminated by our soul, our inner spark. The moon is illuminated by soul, or the sun. And there are times where the moon is fully illuminated by the sun, and we have a full moon. And the moon is shining light for others in the darkness, and it is bright and whole and connected. And there are other times that that exact same moon is a new moon, and it is in the shadows. It's not reflecting any light whatsoever. It's still there. You can kind of see it on a clear night, but it is in a restful state. It's not shining any light. And then there are all the phases in between, the new moon and the full moon. And we are just like the moon. We are not meant to stop and be a full moon all the time. We are simply meant to move through these phases. And sometimes the heaviest layer of our suffering can be the expectation we put on ourselves to be a full moon all the time, to feel good all the time, or holy and whole and capable of sharing light for others in the darkness. And just having that expectation of ourselves alone is what can cause deep suffering. And so just reminding yourself that you are just like the moon. You will be moving through phases all throughout life. And there's nothing wrong with you if you are in the shadows right now, if you are hibernating, if you are feeling disconnected. And if you are feeling bright and whole and connected, then allowing yourself to really make the most of that and shine your light for others while they're in their darkness. And you can simply allow yourself to move through the phases as you are meant to. And release that need to be one specific way all of the time. And so you can just continue to soften your body. Feel what it is that is there to be felt. And just listen to the following words written by Octavia Rahim in her book, Pause, Rest, Be. And just allow anything that feels like it resonates with you to soak in a little deeper and not worrying about the rest. You are not lost. You are here to reorient your way to the path that is truly yours to walk. How many titles have you claimed? How many distinctions have you been given? How much of it felt unreal and false? Like you were wearing a suit that impressed everybody but barely fit you. You are allowed to change as many times as you need to become your authentic self. Forget your name and what they call you. You came here to remember your heart and soul. There is no way to apply existing logic here. There is no sense or meaning to make. There is no normal to idealize and place on a pedestal. There is only the ground you are sitting on, and even that feels like it is crumbling. Sink into the ground. You are a seed. You can't muscle through this. This requires surrender. Surrender does not mean giving up. It is giving over. A giving over to something or someone with everlasting arms that you can lean into and be held by. Call in grace. You are in an unfamiliar place. You meticulously packed your bags for the journey. You thought you had a map, compass, or guide. It turns out that you only have your senses. If that is all you have, trust. It is enough. You are not alone. There are forces, seen and unseen, walking with you. So you can take the next few moments to simply allow all the words that you've heard today to settle. And just trust that anything you've heard today that really resonated or struck a chord with you, just trusting that that feeling can come when we hear on the outside what a part of us already knows to be true on the inside. And so just allowing those truths to be enhanced within you, so you feel a little bit more confidence to act on your own intuition and to trust your own internal sense of knowing. So if it feels like something you'd like to do today, you can just allow the palms of your hands to find each other in a prayer position toward heart center. As you just feel this pulse of your palms into one another, and allow your thumbs to press toward your heart and feel your heart lift back toward your thumbs as you just feel all of this power that is generated through you. You can take one final deep and full breath into the body as you let yourself fill up to every corner and edge of you. And as you exhale, letting go of anything you're ready to let go of, as you allow your head to gently bow. And just taking this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. And bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. And may this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights. And may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you.